Hello, Collateral Gaming listeners. Chazzle Dazzle here from the Trial by Air Variety Show podcast. I just wanted to take a few seconds to invite you guys over to what we do. No, it's not video games, but we do invite really awesome and unique bands from all over the world. We dig deep into their souls and find really cool stories to tell you, and there's tons of music every week, so subscribe to us wherever you subscribe to your podcast. We look forward to having you.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And I am Megan Gomez.
This is Collateral Gaming.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Collateral Gaming Podcast, where we review good games, bad games, and everything in between. Today, I'm pretty excited. We're going to talk about one of my favorite games of all freaking time. Let's freaking go.
Yes! By the way, guys, we are podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas. And yes, we are a 420-friendly podcast. We have one of Megan's very favorite video games of all time. I know she's really excited to talk about it.
Yes.
In fact, we've got this game and its upcoming sequel that we're talking about in this two-part episode. So definitely a lot to talk about, to nerd out about. But as we all know, we have a little segment we like to do on the podcast. We talk about news segments. And also, I kind of want to start a trend of talking about what games we've been playing lately.
Yes.
What have you been playing lately, Megan?
Well, I've been getting back into Horizon, obviously, because this is one of my favorite games of all time. This is definitely a comfort game for me. I've actually picked up Jedi Fallen Order again.
Nice.
I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say that one of our favorite droids is in a recent Star Wars show.
Yes!
So I was very, very excited for that. I was like, I'm going to pick this shit up again. Cal Kestis is just an amazing character to play. And I've been having a little bit of nostalgia recently with the recent season, and just going back and being like, yeah, like we played this game and this game and this game, and it's we're getting a sequel soon, so I really want to get back into that energy. And I've been watching so much Star Wars because my husband Trojan horsed me with The Mandalorian. And now I'm watching Book of Boba Fett, and now I want to buy everything Star Wars related. So I've been playing that. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing recently. I have not been able to get into Mass Effect. Little bit of news, my husband and I might be moving, we might not be, we're not really sure what's going on, but basically I can't invest in anything at the moment because I don't want to pack it. I won't even buy like mugs or anything. Like we don't have enough room in this place. I ain't got no time. I haven't been able. I know you guys have been waiting for that on the Patreon, so I wanted to genuinely apologize for that, but I'm looking into it. I already have price lists and everything. Other than that, I don't think I've been playing anything else. I tried to play COD a couple weeks ago, but it pissed me off, so I was just like, I'm done. Like I'm officially done with COD. I wanted to just game with my bros that I've had, online friends for like 10 years, and it's just not working. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing it. What about you, Ash?
Yeah, I don't blame you. COD has actually been kind of a real major contention point among its fan base for a while now, actually. But as for me, I ran out of Ace Attorney games to play. I was playing the shit out of the Ace Attorney series, and I basically played every game there is now, except I haven't beat the Investigation spin-off game with Miles Edgeworth, but I have it, and I've played part of it, and I haven't played through the Professor Layton crossover because I kind of want to play through the Professor Layton games first before I do the crossover game. But having run out of that series, I've actually been playing the hell out of the Fire Emblem. We are doing a Fire Emblem game later this season as our season finale, so hint hint. Due to that, I kind of wanted to sample the series and really get into it and play a bunch of the games. So that's what I did. I've been playing the hell out of not only the GBA game Fire Emblem, known as the Blazing Blade officially, but I've also been playing the Sacred Stones. I've been playing the Shadow Dragon game on the Wii U Virtual Console, along with the GBA games. I've been playing Echo Shadow of Valentia. I've been emulating Path of Radiance on my MacBook, and I even kind of started playing a bit of the way through Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door again, because there's no good way to play GameCube games right now. So I finally broke down and installed the Dolphin emulator on my Mac, and I've been enjoying the hell out of it. Other than that, I mean, obviously, I've been playing what we've been needing to do for the podcast, been trying to kind of prepare for upcoming episodes. Because we did the Pokemon Legends Arceus or Arceus episode, I actually kind of finally started to get into a lot of the Pokemon games, like Brilliant Diamond and Let's Go Pikachu. I went ahead and bought those because fuck it, I got tax money and I wanted to spend it on a bunch of games. So
Dollar bill, yo.
so yeah, that's been a lot of it is like Fire Emblem and Pokemon. Also Dying Light. I went ahead and I repurchased Dying Light on the Switch, and I want to do an episode on Dying Light 2. So I've actually been playing the both of those.
My buddy's been playing that game a lot. He's been recommending it and wanting me to play with him, and I'm like, bro, I don't know about that because I played Dying Light and I think I beat the entire game, but that's a difficult game if you don't have like complete zeroed in tactical focus, like as compared
True.
to like the game we're about to talk about. That's like you have to have focus, but it's a different kind of focus. Pun. I didn't even realize that. um, but yeah, I'm just not ready to like dedicate a tactical focus right now. Like, bruh, I haven't done that in a while, so I'm rusty. Like, I'm just now picking up some skills that I haven't had in a while from playing Horizons and playing Jedi Fallen Order. So I'm like, I don't know.
Right. But anyway, in the world of news, one
There's a lot of news. There's a lot.
point I wanted to bring up that kind of relates to something I mentioned a little bit earlier, but it's actually some sad news. The Wii U and Nintendo 3DS Virtual Console and their entire eShops, in fact, are going to be closing as of March or May of this year. You won't be able
Yeah.
to buy anything anymore. Until next year, you can still redeem codes and whatnot, but eventually it'll get to the point where you'll only be able to re-download what you've already purchased. So go ahead, and if you haven't already, get whatever you need to get out, especially virtual console titles. I recommend, I mean, you can pick a lot of them up for 10, 15, 20 bucks, depending on what it is. They're cheap as hell. Go ahead and stock up on virtual console titles, because the Wii U and the 3DS both have expansive virtual console libraries that are just not on the Switch right now. I mean, you got GPA
Yeah.
games, Nintendo DS games, a far bigger Nintendo 64 library than what's currently available. So, the Wii U even has like TurboGrafx X and shit. Like some, I even saw like fucking Game Gear. So there's a lot of obscure shit that you can get on those virtual console libraries, and I highly recommend it. Like I said, I've been playing a lot of the Fire Emblem games, and there won't be a legal way to play those games.
For a while.
The closure of the eShop. So
Yeah. But I think they're eventually gonna port everything over. I think that's why they're completely closing the shop so they can do that. Um, I also, since we're on the news of Nintendo, y'all know that Ash's favorite freaking game in the entire face of this planet is Majora's Mask, and that is coming to Nintendo here soon on the Switch, on the same day as Elden Ring's launch. So I'm super excited for that because I know Ash is gonna play through it like 10 times. It's fine.
I am. I've been waiting for it to come out on Switch. It was announced along with the other 64 games, but they said that it was coming out later. I haven't really benefited much from the Nintendo 64 lineup so far that they've brought up on Switch, mostly because, like, okay, you got Ocarina of Time, but I already have Ocarina of Time 3D, which is the better version of the game. I mean, I guess you can play it on a bigger screen, but I have a Switch Lite anyway.
Yeah.
And I heard that the emulation is not that great. Super Mario 64, well, fuck, I already got Super Mario All-Stars. I was happy to finally get to play Paper Mario, but my dumbass bought it on the Wii U not too long ago. So I keep buying games, and then like a few weeks later, they release it on the Switch, and I get so angry about it. I'm like, why?
Like I bought the All Stars because I wanted to play Mario Sunshine, and I was about to buy it individually, and I was like, "Fuck yes! Oh my god!" And it's a lot better game on the Switch anyway, so I was super excited for that. Before you get into actually no, let's go ahead and finish the Nintendo news because I have some big news that I wanted to talk about because gamer bros are freaking out about this. So let's finish Nintendo and then we can get to my juicy little bit here.
Well, we teased it a little bit. The Nintendo Direct just came out. For a lot of people, they're not going to be super excited about everything. I mean, we didn't really get any like Zelda or Metroid news or major
Yeah.
Mario game, but we are getting Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. So I actually I have Fire Emblem Warriors. I got it on the Switch. That's one of the other titles I got along with Three Houses, which is the most recent game to come out. This is going to be kind of like Nintendo's answer to Age of Calamity with
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I guess I should say Intelligent Systems' answer to Nintendo's Age of Calamity. So they decided to do not only a Warriors spin-off crossover with Zelda, but then do one that ties into the latest game that came out on Switch, Breath of the Wild. It's an actual prequel to it / alternate reality. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes appears to be the same thing. We had Fire Emblem Warriors, which kind of covers the whole series. 3 Hopes seems to tie into and be, I think, a sequel to Three Houses. So that was kind of honestly the best route for them to go. I'm a little disappointed by the roster of the regular Fire Emblem Warriors game, though. So, like, I hope that we get a Hyrule Warriors 2. I do hope we get a true, like, Fire Emblem Warriors 2 and kind of go all over the series, because there's a few games that aren't being represented yet. But either way, that's really excited. I mean, we got a new Mario Strikers game. I've never really gotten into, like, the Mario sports games, but...
I am super excited for the Nintendo Sports to come though, because like
Nintendo Switch Sports, yes.
Yes. Like that was like one of my favorite things of childhood was playing on the Wii and playing freaking tennis, because I played a lot of tennis as a kid. So I'm super excited for that. Also we're getting a whole just meal from Nintendo. They're giving us the entire, what is it, track set now? I think it's every track that's ever been on Mario Kart. On Mario Kart 8, we're getting a full DLC.
Yeah.
And it's only $25. Like, okay, Nintendo, thank you for giving me a whole ass meal. I
Mario
appreciate
Kart
that.
8 Deluxe DLC. Who would have guessed that a game that came out on Wii U would be still getting DLC in its enhanced port? But fuck it, I think
Skyrim still gets DLC, and it's fucking older than molasses now, so it's fine.
Well, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe appears to be Nintendo's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate of the Mario Kart games. They kind of want to throw everything all into one, and that's kind of why I think that maybe the next Mario Kart entry, they might kind of make it to do a little departure. Maybe a sequel to Double Dash would be cool. Wink, wink, hint, hint. I would love to see that. So, kind of establishing Mario Kart 8 as like the de facto Mario Kart game that features, the improved modern mechanics and controls, but with like every character and track that you can get, I think is definitely the right way to go. And that way they don't have to do a Mario Kart 9 for quite a while. Like I said, do something a little bit different with the next Mario Kart entry.
I'm so fucking excited for Coconut Mall. That was my favorite fucking. I'm like, yes!
Yes! Yeah, so
like I'm just sitting there in bed with Alan, and I see this news come out, and I literally just start going like, yes! And he's like, what? It's 10 o'clock at night. What? And I was like, Coconut Mall. And he's like, oh my god.
But yeah, the booster course pass, 48 new tracks that they're adding?
I cannot wait. I'm gonna be playing Mario Kart for the rest of my freaking life, and I don't even give a shit.
Fuck it. Who doesn't want to play Mario Kart? People still go back to Mario. I hear people still pull out like Mario Kart DS or Mario Kart 7 from time to time. I don't really see the need to that. I think Mario Kart 8 kind of is just objectively the best entry. Unless you really like the mechanics of Double Dash or something. But yeah, no, I'm excited about that. What else from the Nintendo Direct?
I think there's Majora's Mask coming out.
Earthbound got added to the Nintendo Switch SNES library. Again, kind of disappointing because I just bought Earthbound on the 3DS, like a dumbass. Because I really wanted to play those games. I'd never played Earthbound, and I wanted to kind of get into the Earthbound / Mother series. So I got Earthbound, but we're getting Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings. What's that? You sound like you had something.
I forgot until I just... No Man's Sky is coming to the Switch. And
yes!
I play a lot of No Man's Sky, and my original Galaxy is like fucking shit. Like I could not get much progress. Like I'd literally have to travel with Alan, and we would play together so I could progress. So I'm excited to start anew and maybe get a better fucking first home world.
Same.
So
I haven't touched
super
No
stoked.
Man's Sky since we did our episode on it, and yeah.
Oh my god, I love No Man's Sky. Yeah. So I'm fucking stoked for that. I think that's it, really. I think we've covered pretty much everything on the Nintendo Direct.
I mean, there's a new Kirby game coming out,
Oh
Xenoblade
yeah, yeah,
Chronicles
yeah,
3.
yeah.
I haven't gotten into the Xenoblade series, but I would like to. And apparently, Xenoblade Chronicles X is gonna be forever lost to the world if you don't purchase it on the Wii U now. So
Oh my god, I love what this.
probably gonna do that. I think we're getting a Chrono Cross remaster or remake.
Oh, and Portal's coming to the Switch. There's a
Portal.
lot of games that were on like other consoles that they're just like fuck it, like we're gonna put it on the Switch because why not? Like Plague Tale, just randomly like we're gonna put a cloud version on the Switch. Fuck it. I'm like okay, like that. Okay, Nintendo. That's random, but all right.
Dying Light 2 is still coming to Switch. It hasn't come out yet.
Yes.
They don't even have a release date yet for it, I don't think. But they are doing a cloud-based version of Dying Light 2, and that's impressive. That's actually
Yeah.
impressive to have a
I
game
feel like
that's
that's
coming out
really
on the
hard.
PS5 and on the
Yeah.
Xbox Series S and X. Like,
Yeah. And that shows that Nintendo has some balls because I feel like it's very hard to take a whole game, that's 60, 70, to 100 gigabytes and compress that, make a cloud version that's playable on a console that's completely different because like that's something that a lot of people don't really understand about like a lot of this crossplay is you have to make two completely different platforms communicate, right? Which is very, very hard between Microsoft and PlayStation because they fight so hard to have their own individuality and have their own kind of operating system that to make them to communicate, it makes the systems butt heads. So for them to take this whole entire game that's a couple of consoles and compress that, move it into Nintendo's own type of style and make it mobile, wow, like Nintendo is doing some shit.
cloud-based is the way to go. I mean, I
It
really
is.
think that Nintendo, if they want to compete with other games, and obviously Nintendo's always going to have its own share in the market because of their
Yeah.
exclusives, but being able to have games that are coming out not just from 1-2 generations ago, like Switch has been doing, picking up games like that, but now also having like new like current generation
games, yeah.
games come out is really impressive. And if they can do that via cloud technology, more power to them. Speaking of mobile gaming slash hybrid more mobile gaming, the Steam Deck came out.
Yes.
And I kind of want to get my hands on one actually, because thinking about it now, there are so many like PC games that I'm missing out on. Being able to have access to the entire Steam library and being able to play that on the go, especially since my PS4 has been giving me issues. More on that later. and PS5, I wanted to get one with my taxes. I honestly did.
Yeah.
I was fully prepared to go ahead and do it because I was like, fuck, my PS4 is giving me issues. It's time. You can't even get one.
It's so
Like,
cute.
if you go to
Alan said he wanted to buy me the Horizon one, and I was like, "You're gonna make me fucking bawl my eyes out right now, bro." He's like, "I've been looking for months." I was like,
But you have to be on the list, and if you get it
Yeah.
anywhere other than Sony, they'll charge you fucking like $800 to $1,000 for it, even from
Best
fucking
Buy-
Walmart.
Yeah, I looked at the local Best Buy, and they said that they haven't been able to order one since the pre-orders came. And this is like the one that we're closest to is in San Antonio, and it's one of the bigger Best Buy stores, and they can't even get it. And they
Hasn't it
get
been over a
ordering
year
privileges.
since the PS5 was released?
Yes.
Like,
And I'm
Sony, get
still
your
just
shit together, because
bewildered.
even Xbox, you can get a Series S or a Series X if you want one.
Yeah, our buddy just got one. Oh, I wanted to say before we get away from Nintendo, I wanted to
Yeah.
read this little excerpt from Polygon, which is they did a review of the Nintendo Direct. Kirby's newest 3D platforming adventure is the Switch's next major release, launching March 25th. Nintendo highlighted the game with one more trailer showing Kirby's even more voracious appetite. He's able to swallow a car and a vending machine. What the fuck?
Hey, y'all, I imagine Kirby gives pretty good head.
I fucking love Kirby, so please don't make him like that for me.
I had to go there. That was, but no, like,
God damn it.
I'd love to get back into I'd love to get into the Kirby series. It's one of those things that's like,
I love Kirby.
I play as Kirby. He's one of my favorite characters in Smash. I've
Yes.
never really played Kirby games.
I main Kirby all the time. If I'm playing Smash, I'm gonna main Kirby because like you can imitate, you can fucking just do that little air punch. Fucking love that shit. He's just an aggressive little pink ball, and that's me. That's me.
But
I'm an aggressive little ball.
an aggressive little ball. Anything to add to the news segment?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna talk about it. We're doing it. Sony just recently acquired a big boy. They acquired Bungie.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. That's really interesting because I mean Microsoft is acquiring a lot of new properties, and you know Bungie is famous for working with Microsoft. I don't know if they were ever a subsidiary, but they closely
Destiny
worked.
and Halo.
Yeah, they closely worked alongside them. So kind of like a fuck you. It's kind of like a revenge. It's kind of like a revenge fuck. You know, like that's what they're
Yeah.
doing.
No,
You know.
but for real though, but like gaming bros are so excited because like does this mean that if Sony acquires it, like are we gonna see Master Chief again in a different sense? Are we gonna get to see like an alternative story that maybe Sony could have thought of? Because like you gotta think like Sony is very well known for their way to just captive like there's all of their studios captivate you and give you this amazing story. Like a lot of the games that we talk about are PlayStation exclusives because they just grip you. So I'm excited to see because I've only played a little bit of the Halo. Please don't come for me, guys. I was not allowed to play Xbox. We've gone over this. I was a PlayStation kid, but for me, gaming is gaming now. Um, to see him in a different light would be super cool. Also, I know that a lot of Destiny fans are pretty excited because they might be able to get some different content. I personally, again, I shoot me. I have never played Destiny. I've never been able to get into it. It's just not. It just doesn't really seem like my style of game. Especially after I picked up Anthem because it's a lot of people are like, oh well, it's kind of like based on Destiny, and I was so disappointed by that and disappointed by that game that it made me kind of fear Destiny. I was like, I'm not ready to be let down like that because
Aw.
EA fucking hurt me. Like when I picked up that game and it was that bad, I don't think I've ever been more disappointed as a gamer. Like it was bad. So for me, like knowing that a game this was based off of one, I'm like, what kind of fuck ups can I expect? And I know that's terrible, but that's just because of my you know, what is it? What I got from Anthem.
I liked Destiny until they got too cheap to keep using Peter Dinklage, and then they fucking replaced all his lines in the game with somebody else. Don't do Peter Dinklage like that, man.
I fucking love Peter Dinklage, man. Like, oh my god, I almost love him almost as much as the guy who plays Willow. What's his name? Oh my god, why is this Warwick Davis? Warwick Davis. That man is an angel.
Anyway, we're going on a tangent here, and we're 20 minutes into this, and we
Yeah.
haven't even talked about Horizon Zero Dawn yet.
I know we have so much stuff going on though. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool. This is the way.
This is the way. Damn you! Why'd you have to bring up Star Wars?
All right, Megan, this is your pick. Go ahead
Yes.
and talk to me about why you wanted to talk about Horizon Zero Dawn. Why is this what you once told me your favorite video game?
Okay, so this game is just God, there's so much to it. And I was actually talking to a friend a couple weeks ago about how, my New Year's resolution is to get back into gaming because I've kind of fallen out of love with it because of, outside resources affecting, just me as a person. And, my friend was like, well, before you get back into gaming, why don't we talk about it? And, tell me, what game would you recommend for anybody who, doesn't really know where to go? And this was the first game that came to mind. This is one of my top 5, probably my favorite game of all time, honestly, like even above Skyrim and everything, just because it's so different. And this game is going to change the way that we see games. And I already know that this is going to be the same way with the sequel because this woman, Aloy, is just this amazing, strong, just vivacious character who just makes everything her own, and she's very inspiring, and I love that. And there's so many elements to this that I think were so individual and something that just from the moment I picked up the game, and mind you guys, this game came out in 2017. I rented this game on Redbox on a whim because of a breakup, and I ended up falling in love with it, and I forgot to turn the red box, and I still have the original game in the red box case. Um, there's just
Is
so
this the
much to love
breakup that
about
I'm
it.
thinking of?
Yes, it's the breakup that the Ash was present
Wow.
for this.
Because I'm thinking about the time frame, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, this is just if I were to recommend a game for somebody who has a PlayStation, this is my first pick. And I wish that, our Xbox, listeners, I wish that you would, consider maybe picking up a used PlayStation just to have the experience of this game because there is nothing like Aloy and her story.
Well, you don't
And
have
I
to. It's
think
on
it's something
PC.
Yeah, I mean, you can also play it on PC now. I forget about that, honestly, because I'm not a PC gamer yet, and I'm working on it. I'm actually planning on building a PC. So if anybody has any recommendations, please let me know. But yeah, there's so much to talk about, and there's so much to unpack, and I just wanted to talk to you about it because this is the game that made me, especially recently, fall back in love with gaming and just make me just want to play everything and compare and contrast to Aloy's story because I just fucking love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, and that's perfect. That's actually beautiful that not only has this gotten you into gaming, back into gaming once, but twice now.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I feel like. See, my thing with Horizon Zero Dawn is whenever I first played it, I was completely enthralled by it. I played several hours of it at a time, but for some reason, it's an easy game to fall off of. But then when you
Yes.
jump back into the world, you instantly fall in love with it again. And I experienced that this time. See, my first playthrough of the game, I had gotten all the way up to, where you go into, it's actually where you go to rescue Ursa.
Oh, okay.
That was the mission that I was on. Funny story, okay? So I haven't picked up this game in years, right? When I decided to play it again for the podcast, I started over from the beginning. But I have two profiles on my PlayStation. Well, I have more than that, but I have two profiles that I use. I have the Collateral Gaming profile, and I have my personal. I was playing this on the Collateral Gaming profile naturally because I'm doing it for the podcast, and also because I already had a playthrough on my other one, so it just made more sense to start it on a different profile. But the other day, I go to play this game because I want to talk about it, and I'm actually at that same part in the story. I'm at the part where you're about to go rescue Ursa or attempt to.
That part breaks my heart.
I know. So anyway, I load up the game and I'm like, I thought I was already at the area where like you play the mission. I'm a little bit like behind. I gotta go walk over there. But it's like, okay, no big deal. I'll go ahead and I'll just walk over there. I mean, it makes sense. I probably just that this is where the last point the game saved. The last campfire I was at or whatever. So I go all the way up there and I'm a little weirded out because I'm like, I don't remember having bought the Shadow Hunter bow. Like why is this in my in my inventory? Or and then I was like, okay, whatever. And I've got to like recraft everything too, and I'm trying to go about it stealth wise. So every time I mess up,
Yes.
I reload and I have to equip what items I want and craft what I want. But anyway. So my PS4 shuts off inevitably, as has been happening lately while playing this game. More on that later. So anyway, I give up, decide fuck it. When I pick up the game next time, I go ahead and load my regular profile, and this time it does bring me back to the area where the mission was at, and all of a sudden I don't have a Shadow Hunter bow in my inventory, and now I'm really weirded out. And then I go, wait a second, did I load my personal profile this game? So as it happened. I happened to be at the exact point in the game, like almost exactly. The only difference being I hadn't walked over to that quest point yet, but I was nearby it.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was at the exact same point in the game practically, whenever I mistakenly got on my other profile. So
Funny enough, that's actually my old drop-off point too.
really.
Yes, I was looking through and I looked at what level I was on that profile and I was like, let me load it up because I was wanting to play this game, have a playthrough on it so I have, more recent, kind of memories. And I like to, even if I've played a game, have a playthrough of it before we talk about it on the podcast. And I loaded that one and I was like, oh wow, like I was actually pretty far in the game on my last playthrough. It was the exact same spot and I think I was literally like wielding like the Shadowhunter bow. Funny enough. Like, that's fucking weird. I was just thinking about that while you were talking about it. I was like, I think I stopped at the exact same spot in my last playthrough from like 2020 or some shit, like when quarantine started.
Yeah. So the last time I played this was definitely actually pre-pandemic. I remember I was still with Brianna at the time. I don't think you never met Brianna, but she was
I don't think so.
she was the chick. You might have seen her on social media because I was with this chick for like 2 years and I lived with her. But anyway, yeah, I was with her at the time, and I only had access to the PlayStation at certain points because it was both me and Dakota's PlayStation. We both kind of shared it. We got it for Christmas together. Both of us sort of pitched in money towards it as well. It was one of those weird
Nice.
gifts where we actually pitched in money towards it, but it's what we really wanted. So
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we kind of have equal ownership of it. The good news is that Lillian has a PS4 and I have a PS4 now, so no issues. But back then, I would have the game over, and I decided to go ahead and back up Horizon because I hadn't played it in a little while. Yeah, that was the last time I played the game. See, that must have been, well, it wouldn't have been too long after the game actually came out, to be honest with you.
Probably like 2018 then.
It probably was like, yeah, it was probably like 2018 is what I'm thinking. The game came out in 2017, I remember, and I think I got it right around the time that it launched. I think because Dakota bought it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah, I rented the game, like I saw it because like Redbox, there's one like out in our hometown that's that has like, it tells you when the game was released, and I think it was like 2 or 3 months old at the time, and there wasn't really a lot of talk about it. This is back in 2017 before games were like overly hyped for everything, like every fucking moment. So I'd heard a couple things, but I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it, I'll pick it up. And I ended up falling in love with it. But yeah, like you said, it was just like something that I was like, and then it became like one of literally my favorite games ever. So it was like on a whim kind of thing that I decided to play it, and now I'm like, Horizon, Aloy.
This game manages to make itself feel completely different depending on where you are in the story when you play it. Like, I will say this game has one of the best openings I've ever seen in a video game. And if there was anything I'm just mildly not as stoked about with Horizon Forbidden West so far, it's that it just doesn't open nearly as well as this one does, because this one just opens phenomenally.
Well, also, Guerrilla Games, when I read about this game, when I started, because you know how I get whenever I get into something, like I research every freaking detail. Guerrilla Games was not expecting this game to be received as well as it was.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that it became such a monumental game kind of shook them to the core, and they were really, really wanting this one to pan out. Like the theatrics of Aloy going from a little girl to this big, beautiful woman in that scene where she rolls is one of the best moments in gaming I've seen personally. That is the most amazing opening sequence. It's a great part to add into the title, and it's so beautiful. And there's a lot of aspects in that, and just that scene alone, that I could pick apart and break down, because it's just, the way that he's teaching her everything, Rost is, and how, she becomes like this woman warrior. What happened?
Rost. I'm just
I
like
thought
Rost.
you said pause. I was like, oh shit.
Oh no, I there's a data book entry about him in Forbidden West, and I was reading through the summary, and I was like, Rost.
I love him. I was so sad about his character.
But I think it's fitting. I think honestly that was the best way for him to go out.
Yeah.
But I just feel so bad for her. But anyway, yeah, I love how the game opens up, and you actually follow Aloy her entire life. You follow her from a baby, what looks like, I think was actually the day she was born. No, it was not. He had her for a little while, maybe a couple months, and she doesn't look like a newborn.
No, she looks like she's like 5-6 months for sure.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, you go, and he goes to name her, and she's this outcast child. You have no fucking idea why. She doesn't have a mother apparently.
Yeah, they call her the motherless child whenever the kids are picking on her.
And he is instructed by the the priestesses or whatever they are to watch over this child, and thus make himself an outcast. He outcasts himself from society to raise her, and he's her father figure that raises her whole life. But they have this interesting dynamic, this interesting parent-child relationship that I think is really endearing. I mean, I think it's as good as, say, like Joel and Ellie. Yeah. But
yes.
Just within the first like 15-30 minutes. Well, okay, let's be real. It's about the first hour of gameplay, and depending on how much like side content you do, possibly more. But he takes you out, like, so not only do you see him taking you as a baby to go to do this naming ceremony, then you flash forward a little bit, you play as Aloy as a child, and they give you this time to introduce you to some of the game's mechanics. It acts as like a tutorial for stealth and combat, and he shows her as a child how to wield a bow and whatnot. And that's after you explored the fucking ancient ruins and actually got to do
what's interesting is also in that sequence when you're in the beginning of the game, in this world, Aloy and Rost are outcasts. So there is a tribe called the Nora, this is a post-apocalyptic world. So it's not like right after the ashes and embers. It's a while afterwards. We're almost in, like, Ash and I were talking about it a little bit before the podcast. This is like a Viking era for these people. So there is a tribe called the Nora Tribe that is a very well-renowned, very religious group of people. and they are outcasts. So they are not allowed to communicate. They are not allowed to say anything to the Nora tribe. They are allowed to be on the sacred lands, per the clause of Ross. But and they are protected by the Nora tribe, but they are not allowed to speak to each other. So there is this boy named Teb, which everybody will get excited when I say that name because Teb is adorable. Which Teb is just enamored by Aloy. No one can freaking deny that. He's in love with her.
Is he another one of her suitors? I mean, you've got him
Yes.
and Varl.
Have you
and
seen her? She can get it. Any man will
the
be her
fucking Sun King
suitor.
Avad.
Yeah, he's like that could be Bae, and
Who
she's
she's
like, "Fuck you,
basically-
I'm a dinosaur fighting woman."
And she's basically like, I'm not going to be your rebound, bro. Or at least that's one of the dialogue options you get to select. She rejects it no
Pretty
matter
much,
what you
yeah.
do. But I think
Yeah.
I do like that you get a chance to decide what options that you're going to pick whenever you can. She has different dialogue options. They don't affect
Yeah.
the story very much. I
The
don't
players
believe.
get a little bit of choice on what comes out of Aloy's mouth when it comes to important things like that.
They all fill in character, but you have a choice to be a little bit more aggressive, to pick a more intellectual approach, or to be more compassionate. I lean towards the intellectual choices, but where it's necessary, where I think it's well deserved, I'll go ahead and go for kind of the love option or the compassionate option with people that I care about, But I do like how you get a little bit of control. Dude. You did what?
I don't know if you remember the beginning of the game, the side quest where he's like losing his mind and he says like the voices or whatever. I use the compassionate option with him because he's just a lost soul, poor thing.
I think so too. I remember though the very first option they give you, I picked the brainy choice, and that was right around the point that you meet Teb, right?
Yes. Yeah. So going back to that, so there's this boy named Teb, and he's running through the Nora Brave trails, which basically, as kids come into age, they can train to become a Nora Brave, which is their version of a warrior. So he's running along these trails doing his thing, and he falls right onto a plane where there is a bunch of these machines. They call them monsters, they call them, whatever, but a lot of the times the reference is machines. So there's lots of striders, which are horse-like, and watchers, which are like little velociraptors. So he falls in there, and this is after Aloy has gone into the ruins and gets what's called a focus, which is a very, very important aspect of this game, and something that I find super fucking cool, especially because you get the sound on your controller. If you don't turn that option off. So you see Tev fall, and this part picks up right after the beginning of the game where she falls into these ruins, and Ross is like, leave that plaything alone. You need to train. We need to ensure our survival, pretty much is what he's saying. He's like a father figure to her, so he's worried for her. And she's like, no, like, I've seen this boy fall and I can save him. And this is one of the first times that you really get to see this dynamic of outcast and brave, and start to get a pickup of the lore and the reason why they're treated the way that they are. And one of the things that I
also get, not to cut you off, but you also get kind of a sense of Aloy's own agency in the game, which is exploring.
Yes. Yeah. So you get to sneak through these watchers and these striders, which don't even fucking acknowledge you. I'm sure that they're just there for show. But the watchers are there, obviously. And you go save this boy Teb, and he's like trying to talk to you. He's like, thank you, like, you saved my life. And they're like, don't talk to that outcast girl. And I love that the first 2 hours in the game, you're already getting there's so much there. You get your tutorial sequence where you get to sneak through the long grass. You get to see the dynamic between Aloy and Ross, and you get to see the dynamic between Aloy and other NPCs that, something that's not really something you see in a lot of games,
Yeah.
Comparing this to like, Skyrim, for example, is something that I use a lot as a reference point, or Mass Effect, or even, just something that's kind of post-apocalyptic. Like The Last of Us, like, no one gets treated the way that Aloy does. And I think that's such a strong point to add to her character, especially as you come towards the end of the game. Is she's always been treated like an outsider, not only because of the tribe that she's in, but because of the focus on her ear, which is basically just like the coolest fucking earbud in existence, by the way. That thing is so cool. Like, you can scan creatures, and you can, find audio logs and photos and stuff like that. You can even see, I don't remember the name of the stadium, but it's in Utah, I believe, is you can see an actual cutout of the baseball stadium.
Yeah, they use real life locations.
That's my favorite data point.
So
Yes.
apparently,
Yes.
Horizon's open world takes place in kind of a very condensed version of Colorado, Wyoming, and Utah. This is the 31st century. I don't know when the downfall of humankind happened, but it seems to be in the
2068, I think.
it seemed to be in the not too distant future from our own time. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Mhm.
like people still kind of have. It's actually really funny if you go and check out the lore and go read like these data points. I even found this one like article or podcast or something where the dude sounded exactly like an Alex Jones type character. Just this
That's so
like
wild.
this like ultra conservative, like, oh, the media is trying to blah, 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 blah. And I thought it was really funny. So it's a world that's not too far from home, and I'm talking about the background world that was lost, the old ones,
Yeah.
but a
Yeah, the
world that
old
had
world.
technology like advanced robots that apparently were created by an AI. I mean, all this was
Mhm.
designed completely
By
by
Gaia.
an AI, and it's a story about AI like subroutine gaining some kind of sentience and like going against it. It's a really complex story, and it all ties
It
into
is.
who Aloy is. You know, you see this woman
Mhm.
Elizabeth Sobat who's supposed to be her mother. Well, turns out she's a genetic clone of her. Like, okay, that
Mhm.
makes sense now. It's like, why is this
Yeah.
woman who appears to be from this time? But that also lets you know that Aloy could very well have been in the right environment. She has the capacity to be this like scientific engineering genius.
Yeah, she could have been like the Steve Jobs of that time, for
She
sure.
was of her own time,
Yeah.
you know, and so
Yeah.
like that's what we're looking at. What I like about Aloy is that she's one of the only characters in this world that genuinely questions reality. I mean, I think part of Rost's upbringing is to blame for that, but at the same time, she went beyond him and she knew things. You know, well, why don't we
Mhm.
go into these areas if these are tools that we can use? You know, what is the reason why we have to do
Exactly.
this? You know, Ross still believed
Mhm.
in the tribe, and if anything, Aloy actually ends up rejecting the tribe. Really, I mean, I haven't played all the
Yes.
way through the game, but I mean, she kind of just seems to be okay. Well, I'm the seeker, but you know, like if wasn't given the blessing to do this, I would have done this anyway. Like, fuck you guys, honestly.
Well, she does. She does. I hate to spoil it for you, but it is something very important to talk about. So in towards the end, she actually goes into the mountain and she opens the doors. She has a hold of Gaia, and they're like, "Oh my god, you have access to the heart of the mother." And they freak out and they start praising her, and she's like, "My entire fucking life you kicked me out because I came out of this mountain. And now you want to praise me?" She rejects them completely. She's like, "You can pick out certain Nora to come help me
Yeah.
defeat Hades, but other than that, find me in Meridian." Like, she kicks them out. Like,
The
she
few like cool
alienates
people
them.
she met along the journey that like
Yeah.
accepted her even when she was not accepted, those are the people that she vibes with and she's cool with,
Mhm.
and she respects, you know, people that are warriors, people that have strong minds like her own, you know. uh
Like Varl.
like
Mhm.
Varl, you know, and so I think that that's important. But Aloy herself is a very interesting character because in a world of this like pantheistic religion where people worship the goddess, she's a skeptic, she's an agnostic, maybe, and an atheist. She is a scientific, she's a woman of science in this world where that's unheard of. She immediately understands that okay, this voice that's speaking to you isn't a goddess,
Yes.
it's a machine. It's you're just worshiping it, and because you don't understand what it is. And she very quickly picks up on that, and she doesn't go around being like an atheist bro trying to like shit on everyone. She's just kind of,
Mhm.
you know, kind of keeps it to herself, and she isn't quite sure how to break that to people. I mean, you even see that at the beginning of Forbidden West with Varl, someone she cares about, and she's trying to find a soft way to break it to him that like, okay, like your entire belief system's a fucking lie.
Yes. Yes. And I love the dynamics that are in this game, because and this is something that was talked about recently, right as the release is coming for Forbidden West. Like, there's a lot of basement bros that are really upset that you can zoom in and see peach fuzz on Aloy's face.
Tell me
I'm
you've
like,
never
you
been close to a woman's face without telling me you've never been close to a
facts.
woman's
Tell me you've
face.
never been fucking laid and you have testicular hypofunction. Please,
Yes.
please elaborate. Like, my God. Like, you really think this woman's gonna be like, yeah, let me just shave my legs before I have to fight this fucking Thunderjaw? No!
It'd be like the same type of dude that's like females.
Yeah, these females, man. Like, shut up, basement bro. No one asked you. Like, and she's this powerful. Like, I mean, this woman commands your presence to be on her, like, and to see her. Like, she is always seen, not only for the negative aspect, but for the positive aspect. She's really good at being inspiring in her own way and bringing people together. And that's something that I love about Aloy, because she's just this enigma of herself, and she's this strong, powerful character that you get to follow, and she just rejects these men like I just you go, baby. Like you go.
She's a
Like
strong, independent woman. She doesn't have time for love right
she
now.
don't need no man.
I don't know.
Period.
I kind of headcanon her as kind of queer, but you know, like
That would be hot though.
yeah. Like I feel like she could kind of go either way. It would be cool
Yeah.
if I don't I don't think that this is a feature that's been announced, and I definitely haven't played enough far. But to get like romance options in Forbidden West would be cool. It's probably not a thing, otherwise they would have mentioned it. But maybe in the next game, I don't know. I would like to have a little bit of agency with that.
Yeah. Well, something also
I mean, it being an action RPG and all, it wouldn't be unheard of.
yeah. I mean, look at Commander Shepard. You have like 8 romance options, and then everybody's going to Garrus, and he just says, "Let me go check some calibrations." Like, fuck you.
Or even like Assassin's Creed has started doing that, of all things.
Yeah.
And this game actually, it does have, in terms of like the stealth combat and whatnot, I mean, it does pick up some cues from games like that. But what really sucks about this game, I think the thing that causes it to be most overlooked, other than the fact that maybe the developers didn't have as big of a budget as they could have, or could have invested as much as they really were planning on. But like, Jedi Fallen Order, this was just kind of that hidden gem anyway. But just, in addition to that, I think a lot of people drew a lot of unfavorable comparisons with another open world game with a focus on stealth and bow combat with ancient futuristic technology incorporated that came out in the same year.
Mm-hmm. Everybody was, and that's something that like I remember talking about with my friends, and they're like, "Megan, like, why do you talk about this game so much?" And they're like, like this game is just a playoff on Breath of the Wild, and I was like, huh?
Did they come out like
What?
a month apart too? Like this came out
They
in
did.
February and Breath of the Wild
They
came out
did.
in March. And the thing you got to
Mhm.
understand is it cool that Breath of the Wild has those cool little realistic touches, like you can light the grass on fire and it behaves like it's supposed to and whatnot? Yes, absolutely. Horizon Zero Dawn isn't going for that style. You can't draw a comparison with the game that's a different type of game. I mean, yes, it's
Yes.
open world, and some of the mechanics are similar, but that's about where the similarities end. Horizon Zero Dawn is an action RPG.
Well, also the aspects are so different. Like the details are different in a different way. Like, for example, you see a lot of the Noras using pieces of the machines as pieces of their armor, and they weld it together with their netting and stuff. That's the kind of detail that you see in this game that you're not going to see in fucking Zelda. It's not, they're nowhere near the same.
Hot take, I think this game has a better story than Breath of the Wild does. And I say that with Breath of
do
the Wild
too.
being one of my favorite video games of all time, but
Mhm.
it was a little bit weak compared to other Zelda stories. This is a good story. This is HBO quality. Like this is
Yes.
this is a game series that could easily be made into a movie or TV series. This has that
Mhm.
same level of quality, I think.
It
That
does.
we
It
could
does.
see it along with up there with like The Witcher and the new Last of Us that's coming out.
Which Pedro Pascal is in it. Oh my god.
Yes, and he's Joel, and I didn't know that I needed that casting in my life, but I actually do.
I just saw a photo of
Daddy.
him on set, and I was so excited. Pedro Pascal is daddy for everybody. Buys, queers, everyone. It's fine.
The massacre was only the beginning. Who did this to us? Who attacked the tribe?
All we can do is pray to the goddess.
No. Praying won't save us. We have to find the killers.
So you will have to leave the sacred land.
Where the trail leads, I will go.
Aloy of the Nora, what brings you to Meridian?
There's a threat to us all. Men in masks, raising up ancient machines. And I've seen their leader.
From the depths, I will raise an army. A storm of shadows to take back what's ours. What's it doing to them?
Taking control. You can see the corruption coming off them in smoke.
You've come a long way since the Citadel, Aloy.
Who are you?
An interested party.
Braves, to Aloy's side, now!
So it comes to this.
What is it?
The end. Or how it begins, anyway.
There's so much more to discover before the world ends.
And that's the reason why I was kind of scared to talk about this game, because there is so much lore, there is so much content, there is just playing this game alone, if you're just playing the main story, it's around 60 hours. I mean, when I'm personally playing a playthrough on this game, I will spend 3 hours alone in the in Mother's Cradle, literally leveling up to 10 before I even go anywhere near.
I would level up to quests before, like, if the quest was above my level, I'll go ahead and grind and level up. And I did that. I did that in Mother's Cradle, actually, too.
Yeah, before you go kill, what is it, the cat? What is it called?
Is it called a saber tooth or something?
Sawtooth.
Or sawtooth. Yeah.
The saber
So
cat.
this game, like we mentioned before, it has an excellent opening. It has a really long opening, actually, because you basically have like at least 3 or 4 different prologue
tutorial
segments.
sequences. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got like the little girl segment. I mean, you got the opening cutscene, which is just a cutscene with Ross carrying her. Then you've got the tutorial sequence as a young child, introducing you to some of the mechanics, and then you get what's sort of the open world tutorial of the game, which is getting ready for the proving and collecting all these things and being able to go around the map, meeting this kind of actually sweet old lady who wants to abide and not talk to you, but she still talks to you and appreciates you. You get that that sense. Aloy isn't having it. She's kind of I think she still has a little bit of that hormonal teenager mindset.
She's 19 actually at the time of the proving, so
yeah, I thought
that
so.
makes sense. Yeah.
So I think she's a little iffy about it, and she's been treated like shit her whole life. But that lady, I think she was doing her best to be good, and I think Aloy's just kind of like, well, think for yourself, and if you understand what's good and what you should do, base your morals off of that, not some arbitrary rules you set up for yourselves because you thought the voice of the mountain was telling you to.
Well, it's also hard because like both of us, I know we've talked about this before. It's very hard to fight religion if you've been brought up into religion, especially because it's like there's sometimes when I get upset when my mom says I'll pray about it, and I'm like, okay, well, what has God done for me? It makes me very upset. It makes me upset to think about it, because I've had a lot of tough times in the last year.
I mean, not to get like all religious on here, but it almost seems like kind of a scapegoat for like, something good happened, it was God. Something bad happened, that wasn't God's will. And it's just kind of like
that also just upsets me as Christians. Like I don't mean to say this in the worst way, but a lot of the Christians that I've met are so two-faced, and it makes me really upset because you're supposed to be, these loving, caring people, but then you judge somebody for the melanin content in their skin based on their ancestors.
And you
That's
see
not
that
okay.
in this game. You see kind of the downside, and you do have some good characters that are subjects of their own religious upbringing and follow their rules, but they're good people still. But you also see where it weighs people down. And like I said, I know plenty of good Christians. We've worked with them before on the podcast. Our friends at Victims and Villains are awesome folk, and I know that they they don't
I
represent.
love them. They're so sweet.
Yeah. So, like you see that that's really interesting that actually we can kind of talk about this, because I mean that is a theme in this game.
It is. There's a lot of theme in this game. There's lots of different things that Horizon approaches in a different aspect. They even carry into a post-apocalyptic world like this. Religion. What are morals, and what are rules that we've set as a society. How we judge somebody based on
We live in a society, Megan. Bottom text.
Society.
Cue like the Joker meme and like some
Is it
like
A, B, or C? Yes. But yeah, you see the society where this girl is hated because of the man that she's raised by, and because she comes out of a fucking mountain as a clone. Like, there's lots of themes here that are talked about in this game that, especially for me, as a cisgender white woman, I'm gonna bring this up. A lot of times, people just assume that I'm just this weak, tiny little frail person because of what I look like. And that happens to everybody. You see, a lot of people, not me necessarily, like, I don't care. I'm not going to judge somebody based on the melanin content in their skin, that comes from their ancestors. That's dumb. A lot of people judge people. And like, Black people get judged, Indians get judged. And it's like, just because of their melanin content, because of who their ancestors are, like, that's, people assume that I'm some weak, tiny little frail woman.
Well, you know what? You may not be able to
not
say
everything
it.
is what it seems.
You may not have the balls to say it, but I do. Fuck white people. White people
Oh no,
suck.
fuck white people for sure.
Commit
literally
white
saw
genocide right now. Kill all the whiteys.
Well, I saw a TikTok the other day that was like, there's people that are white and people that happen to be white, and I feel like I'm the latter.
That's actually perfect. I love it. That's kind of like a good argument to the, oh, well, you're a black person but not a blank, like, which is a stupid argument. But I love that, actually. That's great.
Yeah, I just happen to be white. Like,
I just happen to
I don't care.
I'm kidding. I mean, obviously I think that we should not look into factor color into things at all, but
like, one of the most beautiful people in this game is a black man. Varl, he could get it. He is hot.
Yeah,
like,
and he can get it with that fucking beard that he grows in Forbidden West, and she doesn't like it. Like, Aloy,
Aloy, you little puss. Shut up. I like that beard.
It is funny that she has an opinion on it, though.
Yeah, they have like from what I've seen so far, because I haven't picked it up yet. I'm sorry, I'm waiting a little bit. I heard that there was going to be a launch of a new edition right after the launch of the game, so I've been waiting for it, but I haven't seen shit. So I guess I'm just going to pick up the collector's edition. I don't know. But I've seen a lot of that in the trailer, that Varl and Aloy are like this platonic married couple, but they have no romantic interest in each other. It's like that couple that won't divorce, but they have 2 separate bedrooms kind of thing. Like, you can fuck whoever you want, but just don't bring them home. Like, okay.
All right. That sounds like a good...
But we still married, though. Like, what?
That sounds like a pretty dope arrangement. I mean, if you're comfortable with that, whatever. I'm not here to diss on anyone's kinks.
No, kinks are kinks, man. You gotta just do what you do. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things where it's like, especially when it comes to aspects like we've been talking about, it's like, if Saul wants to change everything around downstairs and become Sally, what am I gonna say to change his mind? Like, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them. What are you gonna say in an argument if someone's made up their mind on something that's gonna make them change their mind? If they have their mind set on something, they're gonna fucking do it. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that they're not gonna do it. Doesn't mean that someone's not gonna support them. Why does it matter to you? How is it affecting your life?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the question there.
Exactly. Doesn't matter where you sit on the spectrum of things. It's like, just don't be an asshole. If somebody asks you, hey, I want to use this pronoun. I makes me happier if you do that. I prefer if you call me by this name.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you to say no just because you don't agree? Like, just fucking you know what? Say what you want, think what you want on your own time. But, you know, like, just respect people. Don't be a dick.
Well, at the end of the day, like, if it, like, for example, my uncle is gay, right?
Yeah.
And he's been gay his entire life, and my family wholeheartedly supports it. And, it's like, at the end of the day, you're going to love somebody regardless of who or what they love and who or what they do.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter, for instance, I don't care, like, I half expect that one day, she'll just bring home a girl and, be like, hey, this is my girlfriend. And I'll be like, all right, badass. As long as you treat her well, I love you. You're a part of the family.
Exactly.
I'm a walk her down the aisle with you if you're that person she ends up with. But if you break her heart, I'm gonna kick your ass.
I'm breaking your neck.
I don't care if you're a girl. You break my girl's heart. No, I'm not gonna get violent. And I don't condone that at all. But you know what I mean. I'm gonna want to kill you.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. I would never ever do that if my children brought somebody home. But I would definitely be like, you hurt them, your mama and I gonna have some words.
Exactly.
But it ain't gonna be good.
We're
Like,
gonna go to your
look,
mom. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly the best way to treat these situations, I think, when they're young, is just go straight to the parents.
you're 17 and you decided that cheating on your girlfriend is a smart idea because you're on the football team. I'm gonna have some words with your mama.
Ooh, now that's
Yeah.
spicy. 17, but
Yeah,
you know,
I
you're
just
almost
picked a
an
random
adult.
age there.
Okay.
Yeah, I just picked a random age. I do that. I just spat out random numbers
No,
whenever
but
I'm
that would
talking
be
about
funny.
stuff.
That would be funny as hell. Like if you still live under your parents' roof and like you're still their dependent, by all means, fucking go to their parents. Be that parent.
Yeah, I will be that parent. Like, I'm gonna be like, look, your kid's being a fucking dick, bro. Like, you need to teach them some, like, cheating is not okay. And he did that to my baby, or she did that to me. They did that to my baby. Like, no, ma'am, no, sir, no, whatever you are.
Yeah, no, for real. But yeah, no, I love Aloy quite a bit. I think that she is a very strong, independent character. She has a lot of the qualities that, you know, I think any girl growing up, you know, playing video games is going to aspire to. I'd love Hazel to play this game when she gets a little bit older and
Yeah.
feel
I
inspired
want
by
Elena
this.
to play this game for sure. I
Yeah,
want her to play
right?
this one.
I mean, she just has such a strong sense of agency throughout the game. She makes her own decisions. Her ultimate goal is trying to find her mother, right? She wants to know where she came from. And, you know, it's she has this identity arc, and I love that. We talked a little bit about the story. We talked a little about the gameplay, and I know we're already running up on an hour, but
yeah.
What about what about the nitty gritty here? Like, cause for instance, you know, I like the I'm a fan of the skill tree. I loved being able to put perks into, you know, the skills that I want Aloy to do, because I'm, you know, I've said this on the podcast before, and I know you're probably going to say the exact same thing, as I focused on the stealth tree.
Sneaky sneak.
And then also the machine overriding tree as well. Those were kind of my main two. And so, you know, and I love how you can cater your play style either way in any situation. You have the opportunity to go in with stealth, which a lot of times the like opening cutscene for that mission will usually kind of indicate Aloy is going to try to do, or you can fucking break, you know, havoc. I remember this one part when you go to rescue Ursa, there's these machines tied down, and, you know, she kind of implies she's going to use them, but what does that mean? Does that mean you're going to let them loose and raise havoc right away and let them kill off most of the enemies for you? Or does that mean you're going to use that to your advantage by just leaving them in chains so you don't have to fight them?
Yeah. Well, I know there's one part, I think it's right before you go rescue Ursa, it's around that time period in the game, where you can like sneak around, or you can just fuck shit up and blow up the machines. And I had one playthrough where I just fuck shit up. And I am a stealth player through and through, and I thought that shit was fucking amazing. But yeah, I am a...
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm a huge stealth player, and I love that you get that aspect in this game, especially when you're doing like there's a lot of extra content in this game. Like you can do cauldrons where you can, you know, you pick up the ability to override more machines. You have the side quests and you have errands. So one of the side quests that you can do that's kind of like a sub category is the bandit camps, so you can give more, you know, resources to the tribes around you, because it's not all the Nora, you know, there's other tribes,
and there's
just the
Nil.
Noras. Yeah. Oh god, he is so fucking weird, but he's hot.
Honestly, I mean, I kind of like him. He knows what he wants, and he knows what he is, and he's unashamed of it. And it's like this is the reality of like this is like a Dexter in the Horizon universe, right? This is
he's
like a guy.
Death is necessary, but I sometimes find joy in it.
He's
like
a fucking psychopath or a sociopath.
He's a psychopath for sure. Yeah,
He enjoys killing people, but he's using that to get rid of scum, people that people want to die, and they're not going to bat an eye when you clear a bandit camp. It's actually
like
better
an
for
anti-hero
everyone.
kind of thing. It's so strange. It's so weird.
Yeah, and he doesn't care for killing machines because there's no joy in that. I'm like, and Aloy kind of, you know, she stands back. She's like, you know, I don't approve of what you're doing, but she enlists his help time and time again, and then you get the chance to honor him, right, and kill him or in battle or whatnot, right?
Yeah. Well, I think you can choose to have a duel with him because he's like you're the ultimate like fighter or whatever. I ended up choosing to let him go on his own path, and he's like, "We'll meet again, Aloy," and you can tell that like he's fallen for her as well, like every fucking male does, as they should. By the end of their meetings,
Man, all the dudes are on here like all the chicks were on Ashitaka and Princess Mononoke.
For real though, for real. They're like Ashitaka, yeah, for real. That is every male. They're like Aloy. Oh
Aloy.
man.
That's why I said I kind of headcanon her being a little bit queer. I'd like to see some female potential romantic interests with her because I
Like
I
a
kind of
warrior
get that.
version of Sona. That would be hot.
Yeah, I kind of get that. I kind of get that vibe from her. You know what I mean?
But also, you were talking about the nitty gritty. That's something that I did want to bring up in this game. Is there's this beautiful eloquence to Aloy. She's this gorgeous character. She dons these, stunning armor sets. I mean, this armor is. I've seen a few cosplayers do it. I have not seen one in person, but I am on the Horizon fan page on Facebook. Which, by the way, shout out to everybody on there. They are fucking amazing, and I love the memes that they put on there as well. Sometimes.
They're a good Horizon ship posting group. I know there's a PlayStation exclusive ship.
I'm on the I don't remember the name of the page off the top of my head, but it's like the official fan page pretty much for
Oh,
Facebook.
I like ship
Yeah.
posting pages personally. Like it'll be like Horizon something posting.
Yeah, it's Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. There's 32.6 thousand people on it. And they just talk about everything that they love about, Horizon, or they talk about, now Forbidden West as well. And that's a great group. But going back to the nitty gritty, there's this eloquence and beauty of Aloy. She's this gorgeous woman with this flowing, gorgeous hair, and she makes combat look like she didn't even break a freaking fingernail. I love that. And then you go from that to this, she has these lure calls, and she'll do these brutal, just sneak attacks, and she'll like pretty much decapitate people. But I think that would be a little bit too violent for this game.
Yeah.
There's such an interesting gray line and balance for Aloy where she can go, from this powerful woman who can lead people to this nitty gritty hiding in the grass, lure calling and killing some fucking bandits type shit. And I love that. Fucking love that.
Yeah.
Also, that skill is so underrated. The lure call, bruh.
Oh, the lure call. Yeah, I get that right away. That's one of the very first ones I've picked up on in both of my playthroughs. But yeah, I like how we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but that there are multiple openings in this game. After you even get the open world tutorial segment, so to speak, within the Mother's Cradle, then you get the proving, and it's like, okay, now we have this whole thing. Well, no, before that, you go with Rost to go fight the Sawtooth, and then you have the proving, and so it's like there's like 4 fucking prologue segments in this game / tutorial segments that show you, how to, okay, so here's how to approach stealth, here's how to approach most everything in this world, here's how to approach big machines that are kind of boss type enemies, and then like here's how to do everything else and kind of prove everything that you've learned. Here's your exam.
Yeah. Not including the tutorials for the weapons that you can do that are set at a certain level, and hunting grounds.
And hunting grounds. Yeah, I haven't really played with the hunting grounds much yet. I did one of the tasks, but
Oh, I did. I got into because it's a side quest. You can go into the Hunter's Guild, and you can kill Red Maw, which is a very famous Thunderjaw that's like wrecks some shit. And that one, honestly, Red Maw is more terrifying than any other Thunderjaw, and that is a very, very, very fun side quest. And the woman that you get to go with, I can't remember her name right now, but God, she is beautiful.
What's your favorite side quest?
Ooh.
Or favorite side quest type, I should say, not like, your favorite individual quest, but like what's your favorite like of the different types of side quests?
I do like that Hunter's Guild one a lot. That or just helping the Nora people, because that's just who I am as a person. Like, you can see that there's a lot of people that are in desperate need of help, and Aloy is always up to the task, and she helps these people. And she's like, regardless of the disrespect you give me, I'm still going to treat you like a human. And I feel like I'm the same way. Like, even you disrespect me, that's fine. I'm still going to treat you like a human, because everybody deserves to be treated that way. But if you completely come off to me, then we're done.
Exactly.
I'm very peaceful, and I feel like Aloy kind of has the similar aspect, and I think that's the reason why I resonate with this game so hard, because she's always understanding, and I feel like I'm the same way as well. Like, people come from a place of hatred all the time. They have outside factors that just completely, screw with their life, and I feel like that's one of these things. Aloy's been told that she's this piece of shit human because God forbid she comes out of a mountain, and she's still like, I'm still gonna help people. I'm not gonna stoop down to their level, and I really like those quests because you can do that.
Yeah, no, damn straight. I mean, she's not gonna go down there. So I think my favorite side quest type was probably the cauldrons. You have
Cauldrons scare me.
They do scare me. And in this
cauldrons, I suck at
playthrough,
them.
I remember playing the first one, and I was like, I feel like I had a lot more fun with this before, and I haven't really approached any other ones because it was actually kind of really a challenge. But I do like the challenge. You know, I remember enjoying like the parkour segments, and then you usually have a really difficult machine segment, but it allows you to override more types of machine creatures.
Yeah, I usually wait until I'm like at least 10 levels past before I go into a cauldron because that shit fucks me up every time. And also, I think that's something that I should mention is like I like to grind a lot on this game and get a lot higher before I go to the next segment. And that's kind of how I am as a gamer in general. I will grind as much as I can to make sure that I'm at that capability because I don't like dying and restarting or having to redo something a bunch.
Right.
So when it comes to cauldrons, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably gonna level up 6 or 7 levels before I even go near this shit because I already know it's gonna fucking piss me off. Like it's gonna drive me insane. I hate cauldrons.
That's
I
fair.
love this game, but I hate cauldrons.
The nice thing about grinding is not only do you gain experience, but you also gain more materials, and so you can craft more things. I do enjoy the crafting mechanic in this game, being able to quick craft arrows on the fly and other types of weapons to suit your style of combat is really important. Did you have a difficult time with tear blast arrows? I felt like I was frequently missing the materials for tear blast arrows.
You know, honestly, my favorite ones are the Sonic arrows.
I don't think I've
The
played
ones
with
where
those.
they. Oh, what? That's the best one.
Because wait, you're not talking about the tear blast, are you?
Maybe is that the one that tears off the
components? Yeah,
Yes.
it does. In fact, I think they don't actually do any real damage. They literally are just tear, but there's a little mini explosion, kind of like a sonic boom, and they blow everything off.
I use that a lot. I use that often, and I use that tactfully, especially like on a Thunderjaw or something like that. Because if you hit them in a certain spot with the tear blast, it'll actually do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Especially on a Thunderjaw.
Well, yeah, because you break off components, and if you break off components rather than destroying them, then you actually have the opportunity to collect those and to and to be able to use them. But otherwise, if you're just going to kind of go all out, then you can end up destroying the enemy's components, which in that situation may be the better thing to do if it's a tough enemy. So it's kind of at your call. Am I going to do more impact damage? Am I going to do more tear type damage? Am I going to focus on this elemental weakness that they have?
Yeah.
And
well, something I use them on humans a lot actually. Like if you're going, to fight up a group of bandits, I'll use a tear blast on them because it'll throw them and it gives them a lot of damage. I personally, that's one of my favorites. The sharp shot bow is my favorite weapon.
Mine too. That's the one that I upgraded first, actually, this playthrough. I was like, I'm going to get the shadow sharp shot bow. Because I like, first of all, the precision arrows are the only way to do stealth well in this game. The regular arrows aren't going to get you very far because even if you headshot some enemies, they still don't kill them if they...
Yeah, especially if they're a brute.
Yeah. So the precision arrows are necessary. Those will kill most enemies with a headshot, and even sometimes without a headshot, it'll still count as a stealth kill. And the tear blast arrows are really important with fighting off machines. Like when you talk about those Stormhawks that you were talking, or the Stormhawks, because there's Glinthawks and there's Storm Birds.
There's Stormbirds and Glinthawks.
Stormbirds, okay. When you're fighting either one of those, I think those tear blast arrows come in handy because then you can disable some of their attacks, and they're so far away that the precision arrows, well, not the precision arrows, the tear blast arrows, the sharp shot bow is going to be really your only means of attacking them well enough. But what I found is that if you start knocking off some of their components and you cause them to to freeze up, they'll fall down to the ground and you can get a critical hit on those as well, and that's satisfying.
Yes. What's your favorite creature? What's your favorite machine?
Like machine? That's a good question. So the hardest machine I guess I've faced so far was the Deathbringer. That's as far as I got in my playthrough because this game is really fucking intensive on the PS4 for some reason and causes it to overheat. You mentioned you have the exact same issue. So I'm at this part of the game right now where I can't get past an hour of gameplay right now fighting this Deathbringer before my fucking my PS4 shuts off. But anyway, that's probably the hardest enemy I face. But for my favorites, like the most fun to take out, I guess.
I think my favorite as far as build wise is probably a Strider. And my favorite to battle is probably the Thunderjaw.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, really, any of the enemies that have that have elemental weaknesses for me are kind of more satisfying. I always like that type of rock paper scissors type. Of course, this isn't really rock paper scissors type, but I like the the advantages that you can have against them. And while you will be blowing up components by doing so, it's an easy way to kill not only them but the surrounding enemies. So I do enjoy that quite a bit. I'll tell you, I don't enjoy fighting shell walkers. They're annoying as hell.
I fucking hate those things.
And snap maws.
I like snap maws. I don't know why, but I really like. They're easy for me.
I like glint hawks actually. Funny
enough,
I didn't like them at first. I avoided them at all costs, but now that I figured out kind of the trick,
You know which ones scare me are the tramplers. Scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
But also that's something that I did want to talk about. I think it's so fucking cool how all of these machines are based on animals.
Yes. And some of them even
that
like
actually
dinosaurs.
ties into a later part in the game. Yeah. Yeah. Like the Thunderjaw is a T-Rex, the Watchers are raptors.
The tall necks.
The long leg is based on the tall necks are obviously brontosaurs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could be like giraffes, but I think
they're
much bigger than that. Though you're right. I think they're brontosaurs. They look more like one too. The tall necks is also one of my favorite side quest missions.
Yeah.
They're so easy, but there's a sense of satisfaction of finding a tall neck, finding the exact right points that you can jump off of a structure to jump and climb it, and then unlocking the map. I look forward to doing that a lot.
Yeah, tall necks is. I forget that that's like a side quest because I don't really consider that a side quest. I consider that like an essential part of the game.
Right.
But other than that, I definitely think that tall necks are one of my favorites. The one I fucking hate and I always avoid because they just piss me off is scrappers. And I think broadheads are really pretty. They're like big bulls.
If I'm gonna pick a mount, I'd rather have something like a broadhead than like a strider. Yeah, but the scrappers are annoying. You're right. And what's kind of annoying is that those some machines will start scrapping other machines, and so they'll they really break it down for you in Forbidden West. What different machines do. Like they're like sentry types. There's like these scavenger types. But like some of like the scrappers, I believe, will actually start. What's the word? Farming materials out of machines before you can. So there's
returning it.
Yeah. So there's kind of an incentive to go ahead and knock out some of those types of enemies first.
And not to mention what's her name, Spear, like that side quest where you have to go and fight the scrappers.
Oh yeah.
I always climb the ladder and then I take the rope across and then I hide on that cliff. That's like my go-to for that mission for sure, 100%.
Sometimes I feel like I need better strategies. Like with a lot of other types of games, it's stealth way or the highway for me. So if I don't complete it using stealth, I will reload as many times as I need to in order to get it right.
Oh yeah. I especially like whenever you get out to like the plains areas, it's not as like rocky and able to hide as like Mother's Embrace. So for me, I'm literally like Skyriming myself and like jumping up the side of a cliff so I don't get hit by something. Like stalkers, fuck them things. Fucking hate those things.
Oh,
and
God.
every time I'm near fucking Meridian, I'm running by and a fucking stalker sees me and I'm sprinting for my life, alerting every fucking monster near me. Like I hate stalkers and I
wish you could use their technology.
Well, I mean, you kind of can with the shield.
Well, actually, I think Forbidden West does have a skill that allows you to use their cloak, but you can't like attack while you're using it or anything. So they're really going all out, and we'll have more to talk about in that Forbidden West episode here.
There's, like I said, there's a lot to unpack, and we could probably talk for hours about this game. But I fucking love this game, and there's so much that if you have the capability to be able to get this game, especially with the sequel coming out, and Ash and I talked about this right before we started the podcast. For me personally, I've been playing video games for a very long time. This is the most I have ever seen PlayStation advertise a game. I'm talking there's a statue of Aloy. There are, there's big displays. There's a huge display of a new monster in Australia, right next to the that what's it called in Melbourne, Sydney, Australia.
I don't know what it's called. But
the big, I don't remember what it's called for the
opera
life.
thing, opera house.
Yeah. So there's a huge new, I think it's called like a crawler or something. There's a huge display of that. I have never seen PlayStation go so hard for a game. And for me as a Horizon lover, I think that's so amazing. And for them to go this hard and advertise this much and go so insane means something. That means the PlayStation believes in this game. And I think that it's very, very important that, if you have the capability, you should play it. This is a once in a lifetime kind of game.
I noticed that a lot of the like PlayStation studio subsidiaries were all like
Congratulating Guerrilla,
congratulating the release of Forbidden West. So you got Insomniac, Naughty Dog, the usual gang. But yeah, no, I'm really impressed. I'm impressed with what links they went to with this game too. I mean, they even going so far as to consult anthropologists in order to depict a realistic post-apocalyptic setting. And obviously this map is going to be condensed. It's kind of like Death Stranding in that sense, that what's actually hundreds of thousands of miles is in game like a few miles. But what are you going to do? It would be miles of walking. So
yeah, this isn't Red Dead Redemption.
Even Red Dead Redemption isn't Red Dead Redemption. Like they can't make a world that's that big with that little to do in between. It's just not. Remember how people complained that Death Stranding was this walking simulator? If it was actually like accurate to size.
Oh my god, you'd be spending half the time fucking walking.
In this game, there is actually plenty to do in the open world. You'll constantly go around. Not only are there enemies to face, and you'll even find like random villagers or like I guess other people that you can defend against,
or help or do errands for.
And I think they'll give you shit if you do.
They usually give you 3 boxes.
Like in Breath of the Wild. But I love that this game even focuses more so on the futuristic technology and Aloy being able to use it. I mean, she's one of the only people that's capable of overriding machines. If not the only one. I don't know if
besides Silence,
that out.
Silence knows how, because he's the one who gives her the staff.
To
override Hades.
Gotcha. So Silence knows how, and he was the first one to get the focus, right?
Yes, and also I am so happy that we're gonna get Silence in the sequel. The fact that Lance Reddick plays Silence is huge for me because I love Lance Reddick.
He narrates
so much.
the
He
opening.
is an amazing. Yes, he's an amazing character and he's an amazing dude. Like he is in the John Wick series as the receptionist in all the hotels, and he's kind of like like their the quartermaster like they use in Kingsman. He's also in Fringe, which is one of my favorite shows ever. And the fact that he's in one of my favorite games ever, I love Lance Reddick. He has never done me wrong. And I think that he voices Silence perfectly. He's the like if I were to read like a book and then it became a game, kind of like how The Witcher did, this is who I would envision as Silence. So I was like, wow, like this is perfect. Like whenever obviously I knew his voice was Lance Reddick, but like when I'm envisioning this dude, I'm envisioning like a big burly man, and it's Lance Reddick.
The voice talent is actually well done. I mean, there's a few awkward stilts, and that's really just more to the game inserting awkward pauses here and there.
Yes,
but no, the voice acting itself is actually superb. Ashley Birch or Burke is this?
Ashley Birch. Yes,
Ashley Birch is the voice actress, and I believe also the motion capture performer for Aloy. And
she is,
and she
looks just like her
too. It's actually it's crazy.
And Ashley Birch is beautiful.
That's another thing that you can do. Like if you look at, for instance, like Nolan North in the Assassin's Creed games, or if you're looking at like Yuri Lowenthal in Spider-Man PS4, you have 3 components to fill. You have the voice actor, the motion capture performance, and then the likeness.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the voice actor and motion capture performer are going to be the same. That just makes the most sense to do, but they're not always going to use the same likeness. Like there was a big controversy because they changed the actor that they used for Peter Parker's likeness in Spider-Man in the remastered version and in Miles Morales. So it's the same voice actor, same motion capture performance by Yuri Lowenthal. They just actually literally the reason why they chose someone else is because with higher fidelity graphics, they needed someone that supposedly matched his facial structure better, that was a better match. But it's just so weird to see a character with the same mannerisms and same voice with a completely different face.
Yeah. But I mean, also just God, Ashley Birch, even like there's an interview that I shared because like I talk about this game all the time. Like if I'm to talk about a game, it's either Horizon or Skyrim or Mass Effect. We all know this. Ashley Birch literally talked about how it was like such an honor to be able to play Aloy because of how strong and capable that she is. And I know that we didn't really get into a lot of the gameplay or lore, much in this game, but there's a lot of big things that happened in this game that are carrying into the sequel that I felt were important to talk about. And there's a lot in this game that's very important to discuss that I feel like we touched on a
I
lot.
feel like
And
we need to break into this game a little more. Like this game itself could have deserved
Yeah.
a two-parter. What we should do
Yeah.
is do a commentary on it or something. Do a let's play or
yeah, we could I could definitely do some let's plays on this game because I will continue to play this game until my PlayStation don't run no more. And actually, Ash, I know you were talking about this. So if you have the disc version of the game, which I did, I noticed that it was causing my PlayStation to break down quite a bit. It was having problems, running. It sounded like a fucking 747 about to take off. It was ridiculous.
no kidding.
If you get the digital version, I've noticed that it still has its moments, especially when you're going into like an open area where there's like thunderjaws and like the big plain areas. I've noticed that there's a lot of like lagging and breakdown. But it's not as intense. It's not as bad as the disc version. So if you're going to purchase this, I would definitely recommend getting the digital version. Probably also for the sequel as well, depending on what console you have. Now that we're talking PS4 and PS5.
Does it help if you install the game on your hard drive then?
I personally don't use an external hard drive for my PS4 because I don't have that many games on it. And if I do, like I've deleted some old playthroughs and stuff over time. I've just have like
Well, even on the internal hard drive, if space permitting, but like, is it because you can do that on PS4, right? You can install games that you still need the disc to play it. It's like the license, but I think you can fully install the game if you want to.
I just initially because my disc version because it was a rental game. Eventually one of the scratches did wear into it enough to where I couldn't play it anymore, and my disc drive is kind of fucky. Something happened. I don't know if maybe someone had dropped it whenever I was moving or what happened, but my disk drive does seem to have some issues. So I've been using a lot more digital when it comes to buying games. So I mean, if you use the digital version, I've noticed no issues.
Be a perfect time to get a PS5 if
Yeah.
you could get one.
Sony.
Money is not even the issue anymore. It's like, okay, we all can save up to $500 if we have enough time to do it, or wait for like a tax refund or something.
Yeah.
But you have to have a stock to buy. I'm not paying twice as. I paid an extra $100 for my first Switch, and I stomached that. I tolerated it. I was okay with it. I said, okay, fine. I am not paying twice as much for a PS5. No, fuck that.
No, and it was really sweet because my husband said he wanted to buy me the Horizon version of the PS5 because he knows how much I love this game. I've been talking about this game with him forever, and we've played it together, and he's watched me play a lot, because this is the game that he's like, when I envision you gaming, this is the game I envision you playing, because I have a lot of commentary when it comes to this game. Like I talk a lot, I fuck around, and I'm like, shut up, no one asked you, or like I have stupid voices that I use. Like that's just my gaming style, which I know a lot of people have done ironically to get content, but that's just how I play whenever I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn, especially like I said, playing with a Thunderjaw. I'm like, big baby, like I have nicknames for all of them. So
but you do need to do a stream or a let's play on this then.
I've been thinking about it. I've really been thinking about it. So that's something that I'll debate.
I'll Skype in on some of those too, like and we can do like the let's play.
We could definitely do that. We should probably actually do that, especially before I start Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I'm off for the next I'm off until Wednesday, actually. Just the way it happened, because I am on a training schedule this week, and next week I go back to my regular schedule. So
back to your regular schedule program, huh?
It works. This is the way that it always works. Whether it happens on the open end of the schedule transition or the closed end of it, either way, you're gonna get one part of the week where you actually get less days off than you normally would, and you get one part of the day where you get more. I mean, unless your days off are like split up anyway, which that seriously sucks. I feel sorry for you.
I'm a weekend warrior, but it's fine.
I
have an 8 to 5er.
I do 4x10, so I get an extra day off. I get 3 days off a weekend. It's very important to me that the schedule I picked, and like the shift bid was gonna be 3 consecutive days off, and that at least one of those days included a weekend day.
That's fair.
So I fought for
fair.
that. But I guess
I don't blame you, my guy.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I mean, with my kid and with just wanting to like have a life and be able to do the podcast and stuff,
I was about to say both podcasts, your child.
wanting to go back into school at some point. I'd like to actually get a bachelor's degree, get a 4-year degree of some kind. That would be nice.
I'm the only person, I swear, that doesn't want to get a 4-year degree. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go to another technical school. I'm going to go back for radio imaging.
Well, I have 2 associate's degrees. That counts, right? They stack.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Well, I have an associate's degree, but I've been actually, as y'all know, I work in healthcare. I've been thinking about going in to become either a nuclear imaging tech, so like MRIs and stuff like that, barium swallows, things like that, or echovascular, which is where they do like ultrasounds of the heart and they look at your, you like your veins in your legs and stuff like that. I've been thinking about doing that for schooling. And my husband graduates for, funny enough, he's going to be a tech to work on those machines. So if something's wrong, he'll fix an ultrasound machine or an MRI machine or a mammography machine. So for me to be the tech and him to be the one that fixes it, I think is very ironic. But I've been thinking about going back to school a lot, and that's a 2-year school, and it's technical school. But I think that would be so freaking cool because I'm so fascinated by like imaging and stuff, and I think that comes from my love of gaming because like if you have an ultrasound on, like you're picking the aspect and you're picking the picture that you want to take. So that's kind of like the photography mode, for example, of Horizon Zero Dawn, which we didn't even get into, but it's fucking fun. So fun. I can spend 2 hours on the photography mode alone.
Fantastic. And Horizon Forbidden West looks even better. But this game looks great.
Oh.
It's a little rougher on the edges at parts, but
it's so pretty.
It is really pretty. It's a beautiful open world.
And we didn't even get into that either. Yeah, this game is fucking stunning. With the technology aspect and the natural aspect, like beautiful. Not even including Aloy, because she's beautiful all on her own. Like, God, you are. Oh.
She's the model that has the most work put into her, and that shows through, which is the way that it should be. Your protagonist should be the most, the best modeled character. But I guess let's go ahead and get into our final thoughts here.
Yeah. Oof. So I know I've been saying this, but y'all definitely need to pick up this game if you get the opportunity to. This game is one of my favorites because there's so much in it. You can really separate yourself from the outside world and really just get away from your own head. And especially, Ash and I, whenever we're on Victims and Villains, we talk about it quite a bit. We talk about the importance of mental health. And, I've been struggling a lot with mental health recently. This game made me fall in love with gaming again twice. Like Ash said, this game has really been there for me. And I love this game and this character. And, I personally feel inspired by Aloy a lot because she, no matter the hardships that she goes through, she manages to make it through and have a positive outcome at the end. And that's how I want to be in my life. And if you're going to pick up a game that has a lot of good values and a lot of good content and just, God, not even so much the graphics, but the vocals in the soundtrack are beautiful. This game is very ethereal and it's so well put together, especially for a studio that wasn't really expecting it to do this well. I mean, guys, if I can beg you to pick up any game, it's this game. Please pick up this game. I have never wanted to talk about something more, and I've been begging Ash since my first appearance to talk about this game. And I am so glad that I finally got to do it. And I really hope that this inspires you guys to pick it up because there is so much, so much in it. And you can easily get 100 hours of content and still not be satisfied with Aloy and her story. And I think that that's very, very important.
Fuck yeah. And there's no better time than right now. Before you get into Horizon Forbidden West, I actually do recommend you play through this first because this game, that game jumps right off the end of this one. And I actually hadn't fully played through this game yet. So, I mean, even I had a couple of spoilers that I had to get through in order to understand the story of Forbidden West. So it's definitely recommended you play this one first, and it's the best time to do that. It got a PC release, I think, actually fairly recently. I think like in like 20. Well, that's still 2 years ago now that I think of it.
Right around quarantine, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like right around like March 2020.
I'm thinking of God of War. God of War just got a PC release.
Yes, yeah, like a couple weeks ago.
And that game came out like a year after this one, so it was actually
2018, yeah.
Surprising.
Yeah. I think it was quarter 2.
But yeah, no, this game is phenomenal. I agree. It's one of the games that honestly, it's kind of underrated even for myself. I think I don't pick it up often enough. Other new stuff comes out that just shines it's a little shinier, it's new or whatever. But then I come back and like this game is just it's extremely solid. I think that yeah, especially with the improvements that Forbidden West brings in. I mean, you really actually, and we'll talk about that next episode, but they really so far seem to have upped the ante and just made the game a hell of a lot smoother and just better polish, which honestly just is just a cherry on top to an otherwise phenomenal game. There's so much to do. I wish that we actually could talk about it more. Like I feel like maybe we need to have like kind of a bonus round segment focused on something Horizon so that we have a little more to talk about. We got to do a let's play. This game deserves a little bit more attention than I think it gets.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. This game is the underdog of storyline games. And this game was nominated for pretty much every fucking category in 2015 at the Games Critics Awards before it was released.
Yeah.
It won 3 of the categories out of 9.
Nice.
It won a third of its categories. It has won so many fucking awards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for that alone, guys, you need to play it. You need to play it, and there's a reason why it's the underdog, because it seems like it's so intense, and it is. But that's just another reason to love it, because not many people talk about it. The people that do fucking know. They fucking know.
And we didn't even really talk about Guerrilla Games or anything else that they did, but I suppose that's something that we can kind of talk about next time, since we'll be avoiding spoilers anyway. But yeah, next episode, we are going to talk about Horizon Forbidden West. It will be a spoiler-free review. I'd like to have that out by probably the week after this comes out. That's the plan, because I don't want to set it out too long. 2 weeks after the game comes out is... I think a pretty good game to talk about it, but I'd rather hit these things a little sooner and get them, like a week after release if possible. That's the idea. But we've all got lives. We're all busy. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
After Horizon Forbidden West next month, or this month, next month, we're going to be talking about, I believe, let me just double check on our itinerary here, make sure that I'm not mistaken. But Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, your other pick.
Yes. Okay, I couldn't remember which game was next, but I cannot wait for this one either, guys. I begged Ash for this one to be added for the season because my brother, I don't know if y'all remember Agony being on a couple episodes ago. This is one of his favorite games. Senua to Agony is Horizon to me. He loves Senua, and there is a lot of things that are in this game that I think are very important to talk about. So I am so fucking excited to talk about that one.
And it's a perfect time to talk about it with the sequel just announced.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
girl.
I'd love to. I'd love to see if maybe we can even collaborate with Victims and Villains on that.
I would love to.
I think we've reached out to them. So that's coming out next month. I'm really excited to talk about it. I started the game. I bought it, and I just barely started it, and I'm already impressed as hell by it. So, and I can't wait to play the sequel later. I mean, when that comes out, we're definitely gonna have to do a game launch episode on it. Speaking of game launch and speaking of Agony, we are also going to be part of a live stream event for Elden Ring.
Yay!
The February 25th, the day that it comes out, he's doing a 24-hour live stream. So
actually, I forgot to mention this, and I totally forgot to tell you. So for those of you who, I know a lot of fans of Agony have started listening to us, which thank you guys, by the way, especially Pix. I know I believe that she was listening to it. She's one of the frequenters on his channel. So he is going to attempt a world record on Elden Ring. He just told this to me the other night, and he wants me to be a part of it as much as possible. He's going to try to play Elden Ring for 10 days straight, no sleep.
Wow. Well, I can't take off that much time from work, but I did schedule the day of, the day before, and most of the day after off, so that we can be a part of it. The live stream, we can kind of moderate the chat, or at least just be a part of it and like hype it up a little bit. While we're doing that, and then like probably a week or two after that, we'll go ahead and release our episode on Elden Ring, which of course we're gonna have him guest on. That'll be another spoiler-free game launch review, so stick around for that. I'm really excited. I mean, this is the most hyped game of the year. I would not be surprised if it gets game of the year, assuming that it has a smooth launch, unlike Cyberpunk.
Oh my God, there's been a lot of talk about that too, but that's something we can talk about maybe in the next episode as far as news. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's going to be a fierce fucking battle between Horizon Forbidden West and Elden Ring, because this game, Horizon Forbidden West, has been so hyped. I have never seen people more fucking excited for a PlayStation game. So I think it's going to be like fucking tooth and nail for votes on that, which I'm excited to see that because from what I've seen of Elden Ring, it looks like a beautiful game. I'm very excited for it. Also, it's Horizon. So, I mean, I'm going to have a tough time picking my game of the fucking year.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Exactly. It's going to be rough. 2022 looks like to be a good year for gaming. 2021 was a little underwhelming, I think, but 2020 was great. Was a great year for gaming as well. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. Dying Light 2 is an episode I mentioned I'd like to do before the end of the month. So, yeah, I think we'll be going ahead and dropping Dying Light 2 Stay Human. I bought the fucking game, so there's no reason not to do an episode on it.
And then our bad game review is coming up soon. You guys.
Yes, so we'll go ahead and reveal coming up in the month of April. And I kind of want to dedicate maybe April as a bad gaming month in addition to doing our 420 special.
For my birthday, I'm gonna roast some shit. It's fine.
Well, it just fits hand in hand. It's like, what's the perfect time? What's the perfect way to handle bad games? Just get high as fuck.
I know. I was looking at the schedule and I was like, okay, so we're gonna spend the entire month of my birthday roasting shit. That's cool because I roast shit all the time. Whatever.
Well,
but our bad game, I'm going to roast that shit like fire burned coffee beans.
Yeah.
Fuck
so
that game.
That's gonna be
when
Anthem.
y'all understand what it is, yeah. BioWare, EA, we got some words.
You just mentioned it this episode. So Anthem, also our 420 special that month. This is not a bad game. This is a good game. It's going to be GoldenEye. Bo and I kind of settled on that because I think out of the podcast, I'm the only one that smokes anymore. So I had to seek outside help.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's cool. We got Bo for the 420 episodes from Collateral Cinema. So and possibly Robert as well because we're gonna play it on his Nintendo 64.
Oh my gosh, that'll be fun though.
Yeah, we're gonna get high as fuck. We're gonna play the original. We're gonna play GoldenEye on original hardware, like we did Superman 64, and we're just gonna have a fun time with it.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
But I guess that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, feedback on your platform of choice. Fuck Spotify, but at the same time, go ahead and leave us your rating on Spotify. I don't think we're actually going to delist. It was a consideration, but you know we have a huge audience from Spotify, and
yeah, I was gonna say a lot of my friends listen on Spotify, so please don't do that.
So, and honestly, I actually support. I think that I'm in a unique position where I think Joe Rogan has the right to do what he wants to do, but what's his face, that the first guy that delisted his content is also making an effective free use of his free speech to protest against that, and I actually respect the hell out of that. So I can kind of agree with both sides here. I think we should be exercising our free speech, to do these things. I
actually, so I've been ignoring social media and reading books on my phone because I'm just so over it because everybody, like I've said, opinions are like assholes and everybody has one, but no one wants to hear anybody else's. So I actually don't know what you're talking about, and I know that sounds so ignorant of me, but I've just been literally ignoring social media and reading books and playing video games.
The less you know, the better, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a little tidbit here and there, but I personally, love Spotify. They curate playlists for you, and I like that.
I don't know. I'm an Apple Music guy, so.
Yeah, that's fair. I love Spotify though because anytime that you post an episode, it comes up on a notification. It's like, oh my god, the next episode is here, and I love that it celebrates that for us. So I don't know. I still personally love Spotify. I'm a huge fan, and that if I'm gonna listen to our podcast, because sometimes I do. I'm like, let me listen to the camaraderie of 2020 for us.
I have it installed. I have the app installed, to share links and whatnot. It's the only thing that you can jump on. You can, if you want to listen to podcasts while you're on PS4, you have to you do it through Spotify. So I've used it for that before. It's not a bad service on its own. I mean, I agree. And Joe Rogan's going to be Joe Rogan. What do you expect?
Yeah, I don't really, I know this sounds so bad of me, but I don't really know much about him besides that he apparently is very angry and spits into his microphone. That's all I know about the dude. But I guess what you said, everybody's entitled to whatever they're doing.
He's really good at picking interesting people to talk to. That's the thing about his show is Joe Rogan was never great. I don't think anybody ever watched or listened for Joe Rogan except for those Joe Rogan bros. But fuck those guys.
I mean, didn't the same thing happen with Drinking Bros though? Drinking Bros, the Matt Best and Jared JT.
I don't know anything about that, to be honest with you.
They're like Black Rifle, grunt style, military kind of stuff. I think something similar happened to them because of this. I don't know. Basically, there's a Black Rifle had donated something for the San Antonio Police Department to get a boat or something like that because of the Medina Lake or some shit, and something went down and they were getting in trouble, or I don't know.
We're
but
going
I think
off
something
on a
similar.
tangent.
Yeah, something similar happened, but I don't know. People are entitled to their opinions, and if people post them on the internet and someone else isn't, happy with it, you don't have to listen to them. You can unfollow them. You can unfollow on TikTok. You can unfollow anything based on their content.
Yeah. And I think that Joe Rogan using his platform to interview people from all sides of the aisle is a net benefit, I think. It's important to hear everyone's side, because here's the thing. If you want to know how to discredit someone, know what their fucking argument is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Know what their argument is, know what they're saying. I've literally learned, I don't like Ben Shapiro. I think he's kind of an asshat, but I respect him as like a person. I think he's a smart dude. He sticks his foot in his mouth a lot. But, I listened to his episode, and he's not a far right at all. I would not say that he was far right or whatever they call him.
Yeah. And see, this is the reason why I've been avoiding social media, is because it's just like, it's all like arguments of who's what and who's where. And I'm like, can we just I literally follow this TikToker, and her name is, I think it's her. I don't know if she has any other pronouns. So if she does, I'm so sorry. Under the Desk News, literally just tells the news from underneath their desk and talks about it. Just like, this is what you're going to hear. If you're this person, this is what you're going to hear. If this person, this is the news. And I like that.
Also, Ben Shapiro's sister is hot as fuck. She can talk to me all day long about conservative propaganda while she's fucking me, and that's cool with it. I'm cool with it. She's got the mommy milkers.
I don't know who this. I know this. I sound just so ignorant, but I've been avoiding social media. Sorry, guys. I've been playing games and reading books. I just have no personal interest in it anymore. It's just it's annoying. Like, everything is an argument. Everything is, I like apples, and someone's like, "Fuck you, bananas are better," and it's like, it's just an apple.
Sorry.
Holy shit. Yeah.
But anywho, we're running up on time here. But
yeah,
this is the game worth doing.
So do it.
Yeah, if you do listen to us on Spotify, please continue doing so, and leave us feedback there. I think they have a rating system now. Check us out on Podchaser. That's a social media platform for podcasters. I'd like to kind of invest a little bit more on that. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can follow us or like our page. You can join our Facebook group, Collateral Media Podcast, and get in on the discussion. If you see a movie or video game or even TV related or podcast related meme or shit post or news or whatever, fucking post it. That's what we're here for. Yeah.
Especially Star Wars. If y'all want to post that shit, I'll fucking heart and laugh to that shit all day. I don't give a fuck, Keisha.
I go through the page I don't always get notified when people post, but I'll take some time every once in a while to kind of scroll down the group, and I we've got a few people that are actually active and posting content, which is nice.
I'll come off of my social media block for you.
Nice.
On that page, please.
Alrighty.
Please, guys.
yeah, Abby. Yeah, that's alrighty. I don't know what I was about to say, but
meet Merp.
Anywho, so I guess that's all there is. That being said, I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And I'm Megan Gomez.
We are Collateral Gaming. We are out.
Peace.
Collateral Gaming is a Collateral Media podcast. All music and game clips are owned by their respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.